Hi there. Let me tell you about the movie Silent Zone 2025, a story that could pass for just another horror flick if it didn't feel so real. Imagine this. The WHO is sounding the alarm, demanding that people stay home and not go out unless absolutely necessary. But there's always that one family that says, come on, you'll be fine. And, well, you can guess the rest. We have a family that decides to flee the big city and ride out the virus madness at their beloved aunt's countryside home. Dad, however, got delayed. He was flying the last airplane out, being a pilot, and promised he'd catch up with him later. On paper, it sounds like a good plan. Fresh air, far from crowds and all those possibly infected folks. But as usual, life has its own plans. Mom and the kids are getting ready for their long drive. Suddenly, Mom hears a noise upstairs. Wasting no time, she yells at the kids, "Get to the car, now!" Because survival rule number 1 is, if you sense danger, run while you still can. The kids run, but right at the car, their mother is tackled and devoured. The infected attacker then goes for the boy. The entire scene unfolds in seconds. The virus spreads quickly and brutally. Mom loses her mind almost instantly, her eyes filled with an animalistic urge to rip her daughter apart. The girl's name is Abby. In total terror, she dives into the car while her own mother tries to claw her way underneath. Then a man appears, armed and unknown. Without hesitation, he shoots Abby's mother in the head. Then, seeing her brother already turning, he shoots him too. Yes, it's shocking, but that man just saved Abby's life. 10 years later, Abby is no longer a scared little girl. She's grown up, learned to hunt, survive, and fight. With her is the same man. His name is Cassius. Once a grim savior, he's now a mentor, a companion. They live a nomadic life, moving place to place, scavenging, avoiding contact, clinging to the dream of reaching the southern coast, where things are supposedly calmer, and maybe, just maybe, they'll get to sip orange juice now and then. It's a nice dream, but with infected monsters roaming everywhere, nothing simple. One night, a lone infected sneaks up on their camp. Cassius knows lone ones are often scouts for a larger pack, so they have minutes, maybe less, to pack up and run. No calm morning, no coffee, just bags, weapons, and a hasty escape into the night. Even on the move, there's no rest. Cassius constantly trains Abby, hammering in discipline and awareness. But one time, Abby goes too far, too eager to prove herself, and fires at what turns out to be a human, not an infected. The man is wounded. His radio blares, "Johnny? Where are you?" Non-stop. Cassius, unsentimental as ever, sighs and asks, "Can I take your boots?" Then ends his life with a sword stroke. Brutal? Yes. But bullets are priceless now. Abby watches in horror and confusion. How could you? Cassius just shrugs. It's either you or them. Because of her doubt, they later run into a group of people who mistake them for looters. The locals threaten to break their legs, or worse, but right on cue, the infected show up and a bloodbath ensues. Most of the group is wiped out. The only survivors, Cassius, Abby, and a couple Megan, who's 35 weeks pregnant, and her husband, David. Now that pregnancy? It becomes a shared responsibility. The group moves on, heading toward a rumored settlement built over water. Maybe there, the baby can be born in relative peace. But of course, the car breaks down. They have to continue on foot. They stumble into an abandoned town straight out of a horror film. Crumbling buildings, dead streets, creepy noises echoing from the dark. Cassius sets traps. Abby, Megan, and David search for shelter. But the infected are already on their trail. That night, Abby nearly comes face to face with one, but escapes by a hair. One creature hits a mine Cassius had rigged. Boom! Abby knows they can't stay. Then she remembers an airport is nearby. She was there once with her dad. Maybe, just maybe, something still flies. By the way, if you've listened this far, clearly the story has hooked you. So now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. We're just one step away from reaching 100,000 subscribers, and your click can make all the difference. Thanks for the support. But let's keep moving with our survivors. As they make their way to the airport, they find horrifying signs. Freshly killed people, ruined cars, blood, scraps of belongings. In one car, an old wheelchair. Cassius thinks. This could help our pregnant friend. Megan takes a seat, and though it's far from comfy, it's better than walking miles. Sadly, another family trying to escape is torn apart by the horde. In this world, one mistake equals death. At the airport, The group is stunned, no planes outside. Cassius snaps, "Abby, did you lie to us?" But Abby doesn't give up. She explores boarded-up hangars and, yes, finds a plane. It still works. While David and Megan recover, Cassius scouts the area. Abby, lost in memories, finds some of her father's belongings, and then she realizes the infected are already here. They have maybe 4 minutes. Abby and Cassius rally the group, get the plane out, and head to the runway. They fight off a few fast attackers, and then, miracle, they take off. The monsters are left hungry. Rescue at last? Not quite. The engine sputters. The plane crashes nearby. Thankfully, everyone survives. Back on foot, they reach an old train depot and set up camp. Megan is exhausted. David starts acting strange. He pulls away, hides his gun. Turns out he's been bitten. He even tried to end it himself, but couldn't. Cassius notices the bite. "You need to decide how to go. Tell Megan. We can't carry a ticking time bomb." Harsh, but true. On the way, they find a forest cabin with a security camera. Abby yells, "We've got a pregnant woman, please." The door opens. A recluse lets them in. Turns out he's a scientist. They dig in. The scientist's a philosopher. Over wine, he muses. Humanity deserved this. It's just a new evolutionary phase. The group half listens, half squirms, but keeps eating. A feast like this is rare. Cassius finds a laptop and plugs in a USB stick. Up pop photos of his late wife. He goes quiet. Abby senses there's more to his past than he lets on. Suddenly, David gets sick. He checks himself in the mirror. The virus is winning. When he returns, he sees the scientist has drugged everyone with the wine. Turns out, he wants to test a device that can control the infected. As they wake, he plans to pit infected David against his infected wife. A twisted experiment. But David, in a final surge of strength, frees Cassius. A fight breaks out. The scientist escapes. David knocks his wife unconscious to spare her from losing her mind. The group flees through the basement. The infected are close. Then, Megan's water breaks. They escape, but ahead, a fallen tree blocks the road. Behind, the horde. David accepts his fate. He lights a joint, takes one last drag, and walks off to distract the creatures. He dies a hero, but buys them time. Cassius, Abby, and Megan finally reach the coast's security there, helping fend off another wave. They make it to what seems like a true paradise camp. Megan gives birth safely. Cassius and Abby are checked over. The staff says, "Keep quiet and you'll be fine. For once, peace." Abby spots a cute boy, probably the first her age she's seen in a decade. She feels the pull to stay. Cassius, cautious as always, says it's too early to relax. Megan, sadly, is fading fast. The doctors say she doesn't have long. She asks Cassius to raise her baby, Hope, and while things seem calm, trouble is brewing. That same mad scientist returns with an infected horde, ready to wipe out the camp. Chaos erupts. Abby is separated in the crowd. Cassius, after handing Hope to a woman, runs to find her. And then Abby comes face to face with the scientist and the horde leader. But wait, on his wrist, a bracelet she made for her father. The horde leader is her biological father, mutated beyond recognition. In a heart-wrenching finale, Abby must choose: save the man who raised her, or the father she once dreamed of. A gunshot echoes. The monster falls. She and Cassius escape the burning camp. Explosions, screams, bodies, but they get away. On the road, they retrieve baby Hope, now a symbol of survival. Knowing the mainland holds no future, they decide to head for an island to start over. A new life, a world of their own, free from mad scientists, endless infected, and constant loss. It might sound too hopeful, but it's hope that's kept them going all along. And if you enjoyed this retelling, leave a like and comment. Your support helps us grow. Remember, subscribing is your ticket into our awesome community. One click, just like in this story, can change everything. So don't give up. Hit that bell and stay tuned for new episodes from this dangerous but endlessly thrilling world. Sometimes, even in madness, there's meaning, and in the hopeless, a flicker of hope.